What is up, and welcome to another Twins Fives. We're going to tackle a handful of Twins topics. Kicking things off, there's really no way around it. Taking a look around, it's a sad day in Minnesota. A lot of people hanging their heads. I allowed myself to believe. And when that happens, it can be crushing. Yeah, that's. In case you missed it, Roki Sasaki has narrowed down his list of finalists to the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Blue Jays. Yep, that was the big news of yesterday in the sports world here in Minnesota. Put my heart and soul into the pursuit of Roki Sasaki. Thought I made some good presentations on behalf of the Twins, but it's not to be. It's not to be. Okay. All right. Yeah, there was something else that happened as well. Heart goes out to all the Vikings fans out there. I'm not a football guy, so it's not like I was rooting for the Rams or something. Lots of Vikings fans in my life, so um, feeling sad on behalf of them. But I do know you guys have a good sense of humor, so I thought maybe we'd open things with a joke, try to get a laugh out of you. If it's too soon, I apologize. But just want to say my heart goes out to the Vikings fans. But yeah, I'm a little down myself. Didn't actually really think that there was a great chance for the Twins to land Roki Sasaki, but such a unique situation, and it's really gonna bother me if he goes to the Dodgers. I will understand it from his perspective, absolutely. But man, that team doesn't need this. That team can spend money. That team is excellent at development and scouting. Just to have this perfect situation land in their lap on top of that, where a guy that doesn't need a commitment, a big financial commitment, it just, they're already the World Series champions. They already spend so much money. If they have this guy land in their lap, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. But moving on, Baseball Prospectus released its top 101 prospects for 2025. Walker Jenkins was number 5, behind only Roman Anthony, Dylan Cruz, Christian Campbell, and Jackson Jobe. So Walker Jenkins, the number 5 overall prospect. Manuel Rodriguez, 17th. So number 17 overall on their list. The position players he was sandwiched between, so not the guys directly above and below him, but the position players directly above and below him were Bryce Eldridge and Cam Smith. And then Luke Keeschall was the last Twin to reach their 101. Number 44, Luke Keeschall. One spot ahead of Kyle Teal, who is the main piece of the Garrett Crochet trade, although there was another top 100 prospect in that trade as well, Braden Montgomery. But Garrett Crochet, that's a huge piece that Boston got, multiple years of a top of the rotation starter. People are going to think I hate Luke Keeschall because I talk about him, and I've mentioned the possibility of using him as a trade chip multiple times. And it's not necessarily because I don't like him or don't believe in him, but I just see this situation that the Twins are in where they have a lot of guys that are going to be around a long time and not really naturally spots opening up. And then I see something like this guy's in the same kind of range as a Kyle Teal, who can be the centerpiece of that type of a deal. Maybe the Twins couldn't pull off, because there were 4 prospects in that trade, so I don't want to make it sound like you could net an ace just with Luke Keeschall. But you could build a package that was centered around Luke Keeschall, and I understand he's coming off Tommy John, so that's going to kind of complicate his market at the moment. But mid-season, if this guy is still burning it up in the minor leagues and you don't really necessarily have a perfect spot for him, which is very easily envisionable, if that's a word, because you have Carlos Correa, you have Royce Lewis, you have Brooks Lee, you have Edouard Julien might bounce back, who knows? On top of that, you've got Willie Castro in that infield picture. And I realize Keeschall did play some outfield last year, so he may factor in there, but the outfield is also crowded. I just think the Twins are in a really nice spot with a lot of guys on their major league roster who are going to be around for a few years, and then a bunch of these guys who are going to be knocking on the door, like a Luke Keeschall or an Emmanuel Rodriguez. They're going to be in a really great position if they want to be aggressive. They're going to be in a really great position to potentially add a major piece if they wanted to. Or maybe they'll just hoard the prospects and let the chips fall where they may, and cycle through the guys that don't make it. Because as we know, not all prospects are going to click. So that's another option too. We'll see. Either way, it's a nice situation to be in. Kind of on that topic, Zips came out for the Minnesota Twins today. Dan Szymborski's projection system. Basically the takeaway is the Zips thinks the Twins have a solid rotation, maybe the best bullpen in baseball, but they need a little bit of a lineup boost. has them around 85 to 88 wins, so an AL Central contender and a likely playoff team. And Dan wrote that they are a solidly built team that is deep enough to have a pretty high floor. So I encourage you to, in addition to just looking at the projections, read what Dan wrote, because the projection system itself is not have any bias. And even Dan will disagree with some of the things that the projection system puts out. So it's important, I think, to go over to Fangraphs, read his blurb on the Twins to kind of get further context into, even the creator of Zips, what he doesn't agree with in there. So, but it's always interesting when those projections come out. Go ahead and take a look at those. So as we kind of get closer to pitchers and catchers reporting here, there's a lot more content that's coming up. We had that 101 list. We had that Zips. Now, on the other side, it's kind of shocking how many free agents are still available. And this is kind of the way things have gone for years now. But of the top 50 free agents, according to MLB Trade Rumors, 20 remain unsigned. Only 30 of the top 50 free agents, according to MLB Trade Rumors, have signed. 20 guys remain unsigned, including 4 of their top 10. Number 3, Alex Bregman. Number 7, Pete Alonso. Number 8, Jack Flaherty. Number 9, Anthony Santander. So there's a lot still out there. Only 6 teams have signed multiple top 50 guys. 18 teams have signed at least one top 50 guy. And the Twins are among 12 teams that have not signed a top 50 guy. Now, will the Twins do that? I don't know. I've talked recently about maybe keeping the door open for belief that things might end up differently than we're expecting. But I don't know. But the point that I want to drive home there is that there are 11 other teams across baseball that have not signed a top 50 guy according to the MLB Trade Rumors rankings. So it's not like we're the only ones going through this really quiet, cold winter. And then I also want to hammer on, nobody wants to hear this for some, even though we're all, as a fan base as a whole, Minnesota Twins fans, Minnesota sports fans, especially after last night, kind of are down in the gutter and do not want to be pulled out. And that's okay, but I'm going to throw some of this stuff out anyway. Not all of us are in that mode. So, I kind of want to point out that, yes, the Twins have been inactive, but it's not like that every team in baseball is going nuts and grabbing all these guys. Let's talk about the reality of the payroll situation. I wish they would do more. I don't like the poll ads. I'm going to be excited for them to be gone. But realistically, the Twins have the highest payroll in the AL Central right now. These are all current. Maybe things change between now and opening day. The Twins rank 18th in 2025 payroll across the league. They're not even in the bottom 10. The Twins, and then in the future, let's talk about the future here. The Twins also are 17th in current 2026 commitments, 12th in current 2027 commitments, and 13th in current 2028 commitments. So I'm not sure that the the pain and suffering that I see a lot. When I'm looking around on Reddit or Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever, from Twins fans, I get it because I'm frustrated too. They never push themselves beyond their comfort zone. And, hopefully the new ownership group will do that sometimes when it's appropriate. That is frustrating, and it gets kind of old. And even though we hear things like, oh, the Twins are going to be contenders in the AL Central, the Twins are going to win 85 to 88 games according to this projection system, that all sounds great, but that's kind of it has almost become a tired story, which, you say that to a Reds fan or a Pirates fan or a Rockies fan, and their mind would explode. We would love to have that. Carlos Correa has the 7th highest 2025 payroll hit at $37,333,033 and the 12th highest average annual value contract in baseball per Spot Track. John Becker of Fangraphs is the guy who's sharing this. The Twins' salary is currently projected to be about $11.6 million higher than last year, which is a 9% increase. How is that? They haven't added anybody. How is that possible? Pablo Lopez, his extension is kicking in. He's getting a big raise from 2024 to 2025. And then all those guys who are arbitration eligible that they signed, they're all getting raises. That's just kind of how arbitration works. If you have a bunch of arbitration eligible guys, your payroll is going to keep increasing. 9% increase, even without doing anything else. The only 4 teams at this point, again, things are probably going to change a little bit. There's a lot of free agents still out there. But right now, only 4 teams have a higher percentage increase in year-over-year payroll than the Minnesota Twins. That shocked me. I about fell out of my chair when I saw that. Baltimore, San Diego, Philadelphia, and Arizona are the only 4 teams that have a higher difference from their 2024 payroll to percentage-wise from the 2025 payroll. Now, I also have to point out that, yeah, the Twins just cut payroll. So, sure, it's moving back toward where we want it to be, but it's not to where it was 2 years ago. So, you take that with a grain of salt. But I do think there is a lot more frustration and anger and pain revolving around this than there ought to be, in my opinion. Nobody likes to be told how to fan. I realize that, so this message is going to go over not well with a lot of people. But I'm just being honest. And I'm not satisfied. I'm not saying I'm satisfied. I want more myself. But it's just it's been taken so far, and I'm tired of seeing like an article where the Twins or a news item wherever on social media where the Twins are signing like a minor league free agent, and the comments are like, "Oh, hang the banner, championship, wins the parade." Come on, guys. So I don't know. For those of you that want to see the light, maybe there's some Vikings fans waking up a little stung this morning and looking for something to look forward to, or a different side of the Twins, and they are not considering. We all want more. We all want them to push to be more. The Central, especially, is just there for the taking. The Twins could make not huge additions and really push themselves out to be the favorite pretty easily. So it's frustrating that they're not willing to do that. I want to make that clear that I am also I'm not saying this is okay, but I am saying I think maybe maybe we could chill, like in January, and maybe we could just be excited for baseball. Come pitchers and catching reporting, come spring training, and see what happens. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Thanks for watching this one. I appreciate you. We'll talk again soon.